Hey everyone, I'm Jon Michael Hoefling, and we got some high school basketball news for you. I know, right? It's not supposed to happen with all that's going around, but it's making me very happy. I hope it makes you guys happy as well. Very competitive year for all the high school girls basketball teams in the UP, and the Great Northern Conference just announced their end of season awards for their girls. Of course, the GNC happening late last night, releasing this stuff. No surprise that Coach of the Year goes to Lucas Chouinard of Menominee after leading the Maroons to an undefeated regular season. Yes, the team lost in the first round of the playoffs, but that doesn't deny the greatness of that regular season. All right, capiche? Got it? Okay, good. Player of the Year, also well-deserved, as the Maroons' Emma Anderson takes home the honor. And if you haven't noticed already, Menominee is going to be a very common theme for these selections. But that's not the case for Defensive Player of the Year. That goes to Kingsford's Brooke Kriegel. On to the first team all-conference. Menominee's Erin Barrett makes the cut. She's one of 3 juniors on here. Joining her are Edgar Allen, Megan Crow, and Escanaba's Nicole Kameen. The 2 seniors to make the first team are Defensive Player of the Year Brooke Kriegel, so she was pretty good on offense too, and another very good defender in Colorado Tire Store out of Marquette, Aspen, Michelin. For the second team, they get one more player on the list for some reason. They get 6, first team gets 5. Not sure what that is about, but not worried about it. 2 Radettes make the list with senior Maddie Carter and sophomore Maria Mulatto. Maria Mulatto, as I saw throughout the season, whenever I watched their games, she was fantastic on the offensive end. They really leaned on her down the stretch. It's going to be interesting to see how she blossoms as a junior and how they're going to move, because it was a very defensive-minded team. And it's going to move away from that, I think, with the loss of Maddie Carter and Aspen Michelin. Moving on, they're joined by seniors Maddie Algren of Gladstone, Taylor Ray Alaveski, Maggie Strelo of Kingsford, and 1 junior in Menominee's Jenna Nold. That brings us to the honorable mentions. 10 players earned that distinction. Here are the first 5. In order, Gladstone's Andy Ballinger, Eski's Bailey Barron, Kingsford's Allie Doolittle, who actually did a lot this year, despite her last name. I'm hilarious. She's joined by her teammate, junior Christy Gladowski, and Menominee's Josie Hofer. To the second page of honorable mentions, Marquette's Regan Ketzenberger, the Eskimos' Madison Monkovich, Sophia Vandenende, of course, of Marquette, Mackenzie Wallner out of Menominee, and Taylor Zizi from Gladstone round out the list. Finishing things off with the all-defensive team, Andy Ballinger, better known for her game-winning shot against the then-undefeated Menominee Maroons, despite being fantastic defensively this year, made the cut for Gladstone. She's joined by Kingsford's Allie Doolittle, Eski's Nicole Kameen, Marquette's Aspen Michelin, and Menominee's Jenna Nold. Congratulations to all of these fantastic seasons. We were honored to watch each and every one of you play this year. Now to free agency news for the NFL. The Packers, they're making a few moves to get them over the hump and reach the Super Bowl, because let's face it, they made it to the NFC Championship last year, but they weren't really all that close. They were a soft 2 seed. A lot of people thought the Saints should have earned that distinction. Nonetheless, they're trying to get back there and get even further. Now, in the second year of head coach Matt LaFleur, they're adding a couple pieces to try to push them over the edge, and they started that process yesterday. Green Bay Packers signed linebacker Christian Kirksey to a 2-year, $16 million deal, and former Detroit Lion right tackle Rick Wagner to a 2-year deal worth $11 million. The 27-year-old linebacker Kirksey was a 5-year starter for the Cleveland Browns with 484 career tackles, 11.5 sacks, and 2 interceptions before he tore his pectoral muscle in week 2 of last season. Wagner is 30 years old and started 40 games for Detroit after he signed a $47.5 million extension with the team in 2017. He was first drafted by the Baltimore Ravens, where he spent the first 4 years of his career before moving to Detroit. Speaking of football up here, the all-UP teams were announced earlier today, and buckle up, Buckaroos. We got a lot more full screens to get through, so let's just run through them Usain Bolt style, all right? On the black team, Skylar Anderson, Caleb Anderson, Eric Anderson, they got all the Andersons. Jacob Birch, Eddie Cardew, and John Corkin lead it off. Next page, Carter Crouch, Taylor Delangelo, Jaden DeMink, Jonah Dowd, Jake Dumais, and Zach England. Keeping it rolling, Blake Frisval, Caleb Gregory, Cole Hansen, Leo Helpe, Colin Hicks, Joey Hoholick. Still busting through, Josh Hootery, Garrett Johnson, Isaac Johnson, Kyle Crutina, Brett LaFord, and Tommy London. I Am Speed, Owen Morton, Alex Munson, Nick Apolka, Matthew Pavo, Trey Paquin, and Tommy Peltoma. Call me Superman, faster than a speeding bullet. Ben Pruitt, Colton Solani, Cameron Schultz, Ethan Segala, Ethan Silverstone, and Alex Studebaker. Still on the black team, Josh Suhonen, Brandon Thau, John Thompson, Cole Timblin, Kyle Vandenkavort, and to round out the team, Jason Waterman. Well, we're not entirely rounding out the team. The head coach named as well, it'll be Lake Lindenhubble's Andy Crouch. You thought we were done? Not by a long shot. Red team time, let's go. Caden Bigger, Caleb Brown, Josh Brunchins, Blaine Burnaby, Logan Chaudier, Giovanni Colavecchi, and they lead it off for the red team, keeping the pace now. Hunter Dennis, NMU commit Nick Eddington, Dak or Dakota Fortin, Jaden Garepi, and the Bros, Leo and Noah Gorzinski out of North Central. Kyle Gold, Ethan Hayes, Evan Hedke, Cody Hendricks, Jesse Hill, and Zach Indish add to it. How many more do we see? How many do we got? Not many? Okay. Marcus Johnson, Ty Competent, Austin Kronmeicher, Jacob Kugler, Grant Lamarche, Stephen Lamoth. Keeping it going, Scott Locust, Reed Marshall, Isaiah May, Ian MacArthur, Dayton Mirren, and Keegan Monroe. 2 more folks, we're almost there. Braden Nelson, Dylan Udines, Chad Pullman, Tommy Shohom. The story of 8-man football last year, Jimmy Story, no pun intended, and Tyler Sundling. And finally, Otto Swanson, Noah Thompson, Will Twardzik, and Drew Weibel. Of course, Drew Weibel, a commit to Michigan Tech. The head coach will be the former St. Ignace Saints head coach, Chris Marshall. Of course, this game will only happen if the coronavirus, realizes that we all want to see football. We all want to see sports played. And maybe, calms down by the summer, hopefully, maybe. But if coronavirus, if you're out there, just, calm down.
Do you miss sports?
Yeah.
Just a little bit?
A little bit. At least there was NFL news going on. Of course, Tom Brady signing, or he hasn't signed officially yet, but word is that he is going to sign with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when he is first allowed to at 4 p.m. tomorrow.